Hi there, and welcome to InsideTracks.co.uk. If you like this video, then why don't you subscribe? You can get the future videos when they're published. Like it if you would, if you do like it, or comment so we can get better. So what I'm going to cover, hopefully in not too long a time, is how to decide which and when we should use different strategies for exchange betting. And two strategies are either to follow money or to contrary betting, and that's just basically the opposite. You decide that the way the market is moving is going to change. Everybody has basically overdone it, and you will benefit from the correction in the direction of travel. So it's all about identifying when to use either of these strategies. What can you look at to tell you when to do it? So we're going to look at the 150 at Market Raisin. It's a 2-mile juvenile hurdle, and in this race we have a hot favourite, that is Lachine Castle, because it's a Nico de Boinville, Nicky Henderson partnership, which is normally good in this sort of race. And its form, as you can see there, form says won. It's been out once 32 days ago, and it won. So it's a pretty hot favourite. We'll have a quick look at the chart, and we'll just see whether this is an overweighted or an underweighted horse in the marketplace. So we can see the way we work that one out is we can see that it's the 2.36 is the last price matched. And if we multiply then this 2.36 by the amount of money, 88,399, that's that amount of money down there that's been placed on this particular horse. So we multiply it by 399, and we get 209,000 as where the total should be if this was a neutrally weighted horse. So we can see that it's quite a heavily weighted horse. We have got a weighting calculator that will do that for you on the site, and it's free of charge for you, and you can download it. But we can see that this is an overweighted horse, but the majority of the money has been at 2.5. You can see there, £1,900, so 2.5 and down to 2.26. So it's trading within that corridor there. Now what we're looking for is a breakout from that corridor, and then when we see the breakout, that is when we will follow the money. So we'll have to wait for that. It's 1:19 now. The race is in about half an hour's time, so I won't keep you on, but I'll come back when something changes. Okay, we're a few minutes on now. It's 33 minutes past 1. Seeing here the weight of money. You see the 1283, 1196. That's a lot of money compared to this side. So actually, you've just seen it move. Just moved from a 2.38 to 2.4 because of that weight of money that's sat there. And you can see that actually those three numbers there, 1,364 with 242, 244. So some of that money on 2.4 is gone, but still there's enough weight of money there to say that potentially that has a way of going further out. Certainly this 116 that we're seeing just gone in slightly, but 116 will keep this moving out towards 2.5. That 954's come in. So you can work out the weight of money and which way this will go by adding up the three. We have a calculator on our website that you can use for free, and you put in the three numbers there, 53, 516 and 971. You put in 411, 348 and 854, and it will tell you which way the market is liable to move based on those numbers. So you see 242 is being taken. We'll leave it now, and we'll come back in a few minutes when we see it moving a bit more. Okay, well, a few minutes further on now, 13:38, coming up to the 10-minute before off time. Generally speaking, that's quite an important time. So have a quick look at the betting and how it's moving. So we can see that this Lachine Castle, it's come back into this 2.25 area. It's drifted out and it's been trading somewhere in the 2.4, 2.36, 2.4 to just under 2.5. Now, The question we're asking ourselves is this horse now, when the 10-minute mark comes in and some big bets start coming in, you can see this one's quite a big bet that's come in, nearly £2,800 come in, and that brought the horse in. So that tends to tell you that there's some money out there already coming forward, just saying that this might be a slightly too big a price. But our question is that going to be like that, or is that going to be like that? And the two support levels that we've seen are 2.5 and 2.25. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for, what is this now going to do as we move forward? Is it going to go like that, or is it going to go like that? And whichever way it goes, we're going to follow that money. So to help us in our decision making, obviously, one of the things that will affect this horse and which direction it will go in is obviously the money coming onto it, but also, of course, it will be the other horses that are in the race and whether they're being backed or not. We'll have a quick look at the other two main contenders. This is a Bachelor has come in during the morning this morning and has been pretty much on the drift ever since. Came in 2.5, been on the drift. It doesn't look as if it's going to be coming back in anytime soon. Its main money has been coming in at around about the 3.3 mark, so we should see, so in here you can start seeing a 3.2, which actually is 22,000 either side, 3.15 and 3.25 and 3.3, 3.35. So it's up at the top level. It would have to have quite a lot of money, positive money coming for it to bring that one back down to anything like 3 or even under. So that's one. This other one is Precepts, and that's being backed. So it's been backed fairly consistently, so pretty much the opposite of Bachelor. So what we're looking for really is this going to come in from 5.5 through to, say, 5? Let's see what sort of money we've had put on this one. So the 5.5, yeah, that's 10 grand. 10.3, yeah, that's 5.4, 5.3. So we are seeing money coming for this. And again, what are we going to see? Are we going to see this going on down like this, or are we going to see actually tailing off as interest wanes in it? So it's this is now the interesting part, and when your strategy of do you follow the money or not comes into play. Okay, so we're moving into the last 5 minutes now. It's 13:46, and we're at 13:50. I just put in a small back and lay. Missed out on 10p or something, but I just wanted to make sure that I could get live streaming. So we're seeing this Precepts. It's coming from 5.3 or so to 4.8. We're seeing this Bachelor going from 3.35 out to 3.55, and we're seeing this Lachine Castle being backed inwards. And if we look at the chart, we'll see that basically this horse is coming down to the bottom end of its level, and we now need to make a decision fairly shortly. The latest price it was backed at was 2.28. If we see it come back down below 2.26, then that is a breakout. As soon as we get down to 2.5, 2.5 or 2.24, then we should be backing this horse because it will continue down that route. It's still an overweighted horse. As you can see, 2.28, multiply that by 2 is 438, and you've got the 0.3 is another 70. So it's an overweighted horse, so it will continue direction of travel. We can see an overweighted horse also doesn't jump around a lot. So when it does move, it's like an oil tanker. It'll move in that direction, hopefully. But it hasn't broken out of its 2.26, and it's not looking to do so at the moment. We're seeing this horse getting a bit of money. If we look at that particular horse's chart, which we can do quite easily, we can see that's actually been quite well backed. So there's a good tussle actually going on here for the money. It's between it's not this Bachelor. I would have no confidence in. I would think actually probably we should be looking at that now as a potential follow the money horse, because certainly it's broken out of all of its different levels of support, and continues to drift. So I would start suggesting now that if we wanted to take a candidate, this fella is still being backed and laid within its range. This fella is coming in, so we could follow him with the money and say, right, we're going to back him now because he's broken out of his particular range. If we look at Precept's range, he's right at the bottom of his range. That should continue. So we could say, okay, let's start backing Precepts, or we could, but Lachine Castle, which we were interested in, looks to be staying within the 2.25 to 2.5 range. So we've got to make a decision. My feeling is that this Bachelor is a lay, and I would start laying it around about 3.6, 3.65, and I'll hopefully make my money. So let's see what I do when it goes through to the race. You can see that at 3.65, Bachelor has continued to drift. We'd have made at least 2 points, probably more. I think it'll go off even at 3.9. No, it's not going to do that because this particular fella has actually reached its boundary. Now I'm expecting that to come back in. That's coming a long way. So I'm expecting Bachelor to go out, and they're now in play. And I think 3.954 or so is what I would have been looking for as a get out. And I have a feeling that it's going to reach that. What we're seeing now in running is that there's not as much support for Lachine Castle. I'm not quite sure why. It looks a good bet to me, but there you go. So we'd have been out of Bachelor at 4. We'd have been in at 3.65. We'd have taken 0.3 on sort of 50 or 80 quid. So we would have a little bit of money in the bank now, sort of £5–10 or so. So that would have been what I done. I don't actually like to bet. I've said this before in previous videos. I don't like to bet or trade when I'm actually trying to do videos because it's off-putting. But we'll have a look. Bachelor's definitely the unfancied horse in all this. Precepts is the fancied horse in all this, and Lachine Castle is also a slightly unfancied. The top end of its trading range, still quite well fancied, but slightly less fancied than when it started at 2.25. I'll not go through the whole race. I'll come back towards the finish. We're coming into the last couple of flights here. We're seeing that the Bachelor, who was unfancied, is still unfancied. So we're seeing that going out to sort of 80 to 100. It's backpedaling now quite badly there. Almost giving up now. So that's gone. I was going to try and lay it in the running, but I've decided not to do that. So the Bachelor's not there. But we'll see. Precepts was the fancied horse, and there it is out in front. It's now trading at 1.1112, and we'll see that also then Lachine Castle is now being beaten. So there you go. The betting told us that was exactly the result we should be expecting. That Precepts was the fancied horse in the trio. The Bachelor was the unfancied horse, and at Lachine Castle they couldn't quite make their mind up, and therefore, he did run a good race, but wasn't quite as well fancied as Precepts. So that's when you follow the money. We decided in this particular race that we could have followed Precepts on its route down. We decided not to do that. We could have gone for Lachine Castle, but it didn't trade outside, really majorly outside of its betting corridor. So we didn't want to do that. The Bachelor was continuously being pushed out and continued to be pushed out even in the last 5–10 minutes. And so we decided to lay Bachelor, and we took 3 or 4 points out, and would have made a bit of money on that lay. So there you go. That's how you follow the money, and it also tells you what's liable to happen in the race. Not always, because even the money gets it wrong sometimes, but generally speaking, it gives you a jolly good idea. Okay,